Hey guys, what is up? Today I'm going to be starting the process for plasti dipping my 94 Miata. The Miata is interesting, easy in some ways, hard in other ways, I think, to plasti dip. Easy in that it takes very little product. It's about the smallest car you can possibly do, especially if you have a soft top, not a hard top. Because we're only going to be plasti dipping, you know, the front, which is smaller than like a normal looking car. This is an SUV obviously, but you can see the size difference. It's just tiny. And we're going to be covering the wheels. So all we're doing is the hood. We're doing this A-pillar and the top of the window header, and then the doors, rear quarter panel, trunk, bumper. We're going to be taping the rest. So everything up on top is taped and the wheels are blocked off, etc. So the taping, just starting right here, is a little bit interesting because we have a lot of this molding that comes right up to the side of the bodywork. And so what that means is that it's going to be interesting to remove without tearing. And so what I plan to do is use a razor for this, is to very carefully, when removing the tape, don't count on this. When you do 5-6 coats of plasti dip, this line is not going to tear easily, even if it's wet, I'm pretty sure. And so I'm going to be going around very carefully with a razor, and cutting right in that little groove, and hopefully that'll produce a clean result. Okay, this little thing, if you can take this out, I'm not quite sure how to take it out without messing things up, so I'm going to just tape around it and do the same thing with the razor. Tape can kind of go into this, so this is a little bit better. You can probably just peel the tape from that. But all the way around the molding, wheel arches are pretty standard. It's going to be a standard. Just block off the wheels themselves. Around the back, we got the tailpipe obviously tip there, and since this is pretty low, I may even block off the muffler so it doesn't get some overspray back there, or just drape something down there. These things, I'm probably just gonna pop these out. It's just two screws, so that's the easiest thing. If I try to tape this, it'll be difficult again to get it off. I think it's easier just to pop this all out. There are lights behind it. I'm just gonna wad up some paper and stick it back there, and then that'll produce a nice clean edge once we screw it back on. But all this rubber, again on this side, has to be taped off all the way around. And then we're gonna drape some of the plastic sheeting down over all this, so it'll go under here, but still leave us room to get this edge. I'm gonna go ahead, there's a big gap here, and I'm gonna go ahead and drape a little bit on the inside of this. Since there's such a big gap, I don't want it to be a different color on the inside. So I'll probably be spraying down in there, but I want it to not go into the engine bay and have a little overspray. Taking these out, 2 little screws, those are easy to do. Down here at the front, we've got the toe teeth here, and we're going to be taping basically right behind those and around it. And I may just take those teeth out, actually. And again, we're going to take out these little side lights with the 2 screws, and then we're going to just kind of tape or stuff some towels in there or something like that. It's paper towels. All right, freshly washed. So this should be the last shot of it in the sun. You may be asking, is this all the prep you need for plasti dip? And the answer is no. You should be doing a lot more prep. But in this case, I'm not going to do it because there's some little door dings. I did take out a few door dings, some of the worst ones with some paintless dip repair. In this case, like I said, it's my first time doing a whole car, and this is practice. It's just going to be practice. It's just an experiment. We're going to see what it looks like with basically no prep other than, you know, a good washing and everything and degreasing so that it will bond with the car. But I'm not going to fill in like little paint chips or little things like that. There's some chipping right here. I smoothed this down just a tad with some 2000 grit, but we're just going to do it like this. Here's partial tape. We got the windshield, and here's some specifics about the Miata. Since there's such a large panel gap between the hood and the outside, it's like a good 1/4 of an inch, I think. There's going to be some overspray that comes down in here, which is actually, I think, what I want, so that it doesn't have a black line down here underneath it. I don't know. If I don't like it, I can get a little bit of chemical remover and just kind of swab it in there and take it off. I don't think that'll be a big deal. But anyway, I taped around with some of the specialized tape, which hopefully won't lift. And this is going to suck, I know, taking it off, because the molding goes right up to this paint work, the regular paint. So, fun Miata things you have to do. Additional taping around the tops of the shrouds for the lights. And you could take the shrouds off completely, but I didn't want that overspray to be just everywhere in all the little nooks and crannies. I'd rather have it be just on a flat surface, the tape, which I can remove. So I decided to leave the shrouds on. And then there's some weather stripping right down here, and I taped along there, and then all the way across. And I think there's going to be a little gap right there, so got the first coat down. It's a little heavy, my first try. It should be kind of like this with the first coat, kind of not full coverage, about 60-70% coverage, I think, with this color on black. But that's okay, no runs, so you can go heavy as you want as long as you don't get any runs. I'm just waiting for this to dry. Got a little bit of tiger striping on the hood. The hood is a little bit more challenging to get the, because you're leaning and you're trying to make sure that your cord doesn't go touch anything, that you're not touching anything. So it's a little bit more to concentrate on this one. All right, here we go. This is about 4 coats. That's what 2 gallons gave me. So I think they're pretty good heavy coats. I was doing wet coats at the end, really wet coats. So hopefully the peelability will be there. It's a little dark on this side so you can't really see, but it looks pretty even. Cleans up the look of the car dramatically. The faded paint made it look just old. And oops, I did not get under there very well. The rest of it's pretty good. The gun was simple to use. It worked great. I set it up so that with the recommended fan size of about 6-7 inches, I was trying to spray about 6 to 8 inches away most of the time. Sometimes I got a little wild and was not spraying correctly, but I think it mostly got it. I think I'm gonna do this. I got this Dip Pearl top coat, and it's only 1 gallon, so hopefully that's enough. You're supposed to do 2-3 gallons to get a high gloss. That's what I was kind of going for. It may end up being a satin, more of a satin finish. But so I'm supposed to wait like 2-3 hours for this to dry a little bit, and then we'll do that. Now what I've heard is the top coat is even thinner than the Plasti Dip. The Plasti Dip was kind of thin from what I could tell. I don't know. I mean, it was probably normal, but thinner than what I was expecting. I don't know what I was expecting. Maybe like house paint thickness or something. Plasti Dip sounds like it should be thicker than latex, but it wasn't. It was thinner than latex by a little bit. So the top coat is supposed to be more challenging because it's super thin, so it's going to run. But you have to spray it on wet. So those two things combined make it kind of challenging. So always keep moving. I think I got my technique down mostly. It wasn't too hard to pick up. I haven't done much painting like this with a spray gun before, just with aerosol cans, but it wasn't bad after watching a bunch of videos. Whoops. Okay, so this is the first coat after the top coat. Looks pretty shiny, reasonably shiny right now. This is a kind of a satiny finish, but oh man, yeah, it's challenging to spray. I've got runs like on three panels. What happened there? I don't know how to fix this. So that's messed up. Oh crap. So that's unfortunate. The hood came out pretty good, I think. Got a little sag right there, and then I got a long sag right there, and then I got some stuff right there and over here, and the top looks okay. So mostly right along these sides was where it got too heavy. I guess I wasn't moving quickly enough. Okay, this is about 3 coats. 1 gallon did 3 coats, pretty wet coats. A good amount of reflection. It's not dry yet, but it's got a good amount of reflection. So the extra coats helped a little bit with those runs. They masked them a little bit. They're not gone. I'll have to redo it. And obviously my gloss game is not awesome. That's a lot of texture. I'm hoping that with the dip coat stuff, it's going to smooth out maybe a little bit. Might try some waxes, see what happens. Really like the color. Color came out nice. I love how it deepened with the top coat. I'm not peeling it right now. I'm just going to let it cure, and I'm using the razor blade method to get all this stuff off. I'm not dealing with that peel when wet crap. It's not wet. That's all there is to it. It dries way too fast in this temperature, so there's no such thing as peel when wet for me. So I'm going to go around it real slow, and we'll see if I can get everything off. And there we go. This is the finished product. Got all the tape removed. I switched to voiceover because the audio was just pure crap. My neighbor was pressure washing in the background, and I just couldn't deal with it. It was like way too much background noise. But anyway, going around the car, you know, those runs that we had pretty much went away. It kind of fixed itself, and we ended up with some pretty good reflections, you know, some gloss. You can tell there that, you know, it's not 100%, it's not like a mirror finish, but I think the reflectivity is pretty good there. There's a few parts that have, you know, some texture. You can see that mirror there is actually shot really well. I don't know how I got the mirror so good and other parts not so good, but you know, it turned out okay. Going around to the other side of the car,
the driver's side door run, that was definitely the worst of the lot. It's still there, and you can clearly see it. And what I did after this, actually, so I'm making this voiceover afterwards, is I tried wet sanding it. I tried like delicately using some solvent to kind of lay it down a little bit. That crap didn't work at all, so I ended up peeling it and just reshooting the door and the rear quarter panel, and that shot actually really nice. It came out perfectly. So yeah, so here you can see some texture. The texture gets knocked down just a little bit more once I apply the second coat of the dip coat spray, which I highly recommend. That stuff is really nice. It makes the paint, the Plasti Dip, feel a lot harder and smoother to the touch, more like OEM paint. And people can't tell that it's not paint. I mean, once I get it all shined up and stuff like that, it looks like paint. So people are happy with it. They think it's a good color on the car. I think so too. So that's basically it. I just need to bolt up those little marker lights and stuff like that, screw those back in, and we're all set. So appreciate you coming along for my first journey into Plasti Dip on a whole car, and thanks for watching.